Today we are going to deep dive into the twisted pages of Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton, a book where stalkers leave roses, haunted houses whisper secrets, and moral lines aren't just blurred, they're obliterated.
Hi friends, welcome to the first episode of Book Size Matters, where the size definitely matters.
When it comes to books, of course.
I am your host, Edith.
And I'm Angel.
And we're so nervous.
Yeah, we are so nervous. Thank you for everybody who's joining us. This is a little bit different than what we're used to. The amount of times we've had to redo this intro because we kept wanting to do the intro for our other episode or our other podcast.
Yeah, and that was too many times.
Yeah, way too many times. I'm like, did we forget how to podcast?
Yeah, I know. But we're here. I know it's been long awaited because we kept you guys for a couple months.
But it's here now. And that's the good thing. We are all here now because we want to talk about messy relationships, unhinged characters.
You know, we all want the tea without flipping that page sometimes.
Yeah. Or if you're just a romance junkie and you love to read and you just want to hear what other people want to say. You never know. But some of the things that we are going to be covering is we're going to be talking tropes, trigger warnings. We're going to do a whole review of the actual book. And if you don't want any spoilers, we recommend that you skip that part. We'll let you know how much to skip. But we're also going to be doing a review, and we also kind of want to introduce a segment that's going to be hot takes, what are people saying online about the book, and we'll give you our final thoughts. So let's fucking sit back, get your wine, get your chips, get your vibrators. I'm just kidding.
I mean, if y'all want to, but no judgment here.
No judgment here. But let's get started with Wet Panty Wednesdays.
I love that.
And let's jump right into the first book that we are doing a review on. So I feel like it was only right to do this first review on the book Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. The book that took book talk by storm.
Oh my god, I've seen it everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Even I open my cupboards and ahí está. That's how everywhere. So I'm so eager to find this out. By the way, before you go into that, just so you guys know, Angel's the one that basically read the entire book, and I'm just like you guys. Some of you guys. Some of you read it with Angel. Others are just like me. I'm here for the tea.
Yeah.
You know, I want to know what's happening.
Yeah.
But I haven't read it, so I'm very, very interested.
And you guys will not be disappointed because get ready. You're going to be clutching your pearls and maybe your throats. I'm just kidding.
It's getting hot. Let's go.
Okay, let's go. So I'm just going to give you all the little details of the little nitty gritty of the book. It's 42 chapters long. The entire book is 629 pages long. This is a duet, it's called the Cat and Mouse duet. But there's also other books that this author has that are in the same universe. So basically, they might not be directly connected to these books because it's just a duet. There's only two. But there's other books that could be considered standalones, but you will hear about the same characters because they're all in the same world, same universe. That's what that's called. This is dual point of view, meaning that it's from his and her point of view because it is a male and female relationship that we're going to be diving into.
I enjoy those kinds of books.
Yeah. I mean, not that I don't enjoy MM or FM or MMFMM.
Lo que salga M&Ms.
You know what? I like all of them. I like all of them.
Todos los colores.
I did want to give everybody just a warning that this is no happily ever after because this book ends in a cliffhanger.
Oh.
So letting you know right now, if you haven't read the book, if you want to, this does end in a cliffhanger, okay? Some of the tropes that we are going to be seeing in this book is stalker romance, villain to lovers, touch her and die,
God,
love hate, according to the author, happily ever after, but is it really though? This is what I kind of added to the tropes is vigilante a vigilante male main character. He falls first. Some of the trigger warning, guys. Please listen Please listen closely. I said
I'm
clearly.
telling you, all of you. Pongan sus orejitas, because
listen closely because there's a lot of trigger warnings. Unless you're like me and you just don't give a fuck about the trigger warnings, you just gonna jump right into
red flags or green flags for me.
Yeah, basically. Here are some of the trigger warnings, and I think I added my own in here as well because I was kind of like, I should really.
Le faltan.
Yeah, le falta. Some of the trigger warnings: it is dark romance, explicit sexual situations, mentions of child death, human trafficking, child trafficking, graphic violence, child sacrifice, stalking, dubious consent, non-consent. And then my own trigger warnings that I added, there's some mentions of DV, but it's off page, meaning that it's not directly in the storyline, but there's domestic violence that happens out of the soul that's mentioned of. So that's what off page means, guys. There's also sexual assault off page and murder. I also did want to mention some kinks because like some people are just not really into kinks like that, depending on what they are.
Or some people are really into them and they want to know.
They want to know. So there is gunplay. You will find, like, if you just look up what gunplay is, there's
just Google
it's interesting. It's interesting. Somnophilia, meaning sexual arousal from a sleeping or unconscious individual.
Okay.
Bondage. Degradation, and for those who don't know what that means, it's a sexual interest in experiencing humiliation, powerlessness, or debasement as a form of sexual excitement.
Okay.
So some people have a praising kink and some people have a degradation kink.
Yeah. Yep. Agree.
Okay, so let's jump right into the story.
I'm excited.
You guys are about to hear the story. This is basically a book report. I'm going to give you guys all of the tea without you having to flip a page, okay? So we read it so you don't have to if you don't want to, okay? And if you don't want any spoilers, we'll give you like a little heads up of how much you need to jump forward if you don't want to hear them. But let's jump right into it.
Yeah, let's go.
You ready?
I'm so ready. Let's see what this book is about. I'm seeing it. I'm trying to know if it's worth the hype.
All right.
Ready?
Let's go. Adeline Riley inherits her late grandmother's home, Parsons Manor in Washington State. She is a successful author in her mid-20s, obsessed with all things dark, gothic, spooky. She is described as an attractive girl with great boobs, or so her bestie Daya says. She decides to move into Parsons Manor despite her mother's wishes because she had amazing memories there with her grandmother. She has always had a difficult relationship with her mother, but the property has been in their family for 4 generations. It's even rumored to be haunted, and Adeline doesn't care. It's in fact, it actually excites her.
Oh, she's crazy.
She never really understood why she had such a physical reaction to being scared, which she later learns is actually more serious than she thought. Zaid Meadows is completely and instantly infatuated with Addie when he first sees her at a book signing. There was just something about her that dug their claws into him, and he simply couldn't shake it off. He was hooked, he was addicted, and completely obsessed. He just knew that he was about to do something unhinged.
Oh.
You know that feeling you get when someone is staring at you?
Yeah.
It's like their stare is almost physically touching you, hovering over your skin. That someone might as well have called your name because you feel the need to look up and find out the source of your discomfort. Well, Addie couldn't quite put her finger on it, but she felt like something or someone was watching her. Observing, she felt unsettled, but deep down, she couldn't deny the small thrill she got. That feeling of walking through a dark haunted house, not knowing what may pop out and grab you. Your pulse quickens. You hold your breath just so you can hear a little bit more clearly. And all your senses heightened, waiting to fight for your life, to preserve your life. Who would have thought that feeling unsettled grounds you, reminding you that you are alive and breathing? She was literally in the middle of hooking up with an old fling when an unexpected loud knock bangs on her front door. No, not just a knock, an aggressive and angry pound. The kind you hear when the cops are breaking up a party with underage teens.
Oh my God, what's happening?
It's the middle of the night. Who the fuck is at the door? After looking out and finding no one there, Addie steps out onto the porch to look around, but nothing is there. No one is there except someone is there, because that's when she feels it. She can feel someone stare. Not really in the mood for death, she decides to go back inside her house and realize she's actually not really in the mood to hook up either. But of course, her booty call is one of those guys that cannot take rejection well and throws a tantrum like a petulant child. Ugh. The audacity this man has to punch a hole in her wall before taking off. She is in utter disbelief as she's inspecting the hole until something catches her eye. She finds an old journal behind the wall and quickly realizes that she's actually reading her great-grandmother's diary.
Oh.
It wasn't enough that she discovers her great-grandmother had a secret life, falling for her stalker, but realizing that she also has attracted a stalker of her own. When the feeling of being watched progresses to being awakened in the middle of the night by the sound of someone in her house. Not only did someone have the gall to intrude her home, but they also served themselves a glass of whiskey while they were at it.
Oh my gosh.
The police were utterly useless because all they could do was file a report. Weeks were going by and the incidences were escalating. Her stalker was constantly breaking into her home, drinking her whiskey, but also started leaving her red roses everywhere. She even got a note. She even got a note that said, "See you soon, little mouse."
Oh, that's creepy. That's creepy right there. Nope. I'm moving out.
So, Zaid can't help but see the irony in his latest extracurricular activities. He has made it his life's work to track and dismantle human trafficking rings. There is no backstory there, period, point blank. Zaid came from a loving family and has no personal ties to human trafficking. He just couldn't bear to sit back and watch people being kidnapped and sold into the skin trade. He is the best at what he does, a computer genius that can hack into anything and find anyone. He quite literally stalks people for a living and was not above using his skill set to find out everything he could about his little mouse. The more he learned about her, the more difficult he found it to watch from a distance. And if that meant having to work overtime, so be it. He was willing to insert himself in whatever capacity to protect what was his, and there was no denying it. Addie was his, is his. Nobody touched what belonged to him, and it was time that Addie knew it too.
All this without even knowing her?
Yeah.
Like meeting her?
Yeah, well, I mean, he knew a lot about her because he did a lot of deep diving on.
But she has no clue who this man is. Oh my God.
He found it enraging when Addie decided to go to a nightclub with Daya and dance with other men. If he wasn't clear before, he was going to make sure she knew there was no room in her life for other men. He texted her, "Sneaking off with random men, little mouse? If I catch his hands anywhere near you, they'll end up in your mailbox by morning." It wasn't a threat. It was a promise, and he was going to enjoy following through on it. He never killed someone over jealousy, but there was a first time for everything, right? Addie was unsure if his words carried any weight, and she was definitely hesitant. But who was this shadow to tell her how to live her life? Daya was right. She needed to get laid, but was it going to be worth it? Potentially goading her stalker? Was he going to follow through on his threat? She decided she was willing to take the chance and have some fun. She danced the night away with delicious-looking Archie Talavera, who looks like the type of guy who could settle down, but dangerous enough to keep her interested. Despite being hesitant and taking a stranger home, she decides to indulge in some adult fun. Things heat up almost immediately while they're in her sunroom, which is basically a glass box sitting under the stars. It was almost perfect. A beautiful view, a handsome man making her feel euphoric, but there, in the back of her head, she couldn't help but to think of her shadow. Like a dripping sink, the nagging problem that needs to be addressed, but not so much of an inconvenience that you can keep putting it off. She was almost certain he has a front row seat to her undoing because she can feel his stare on her skin.
Oh no.
The heat burning so deep and unbearable that she no longer felt comfortable having an audience, when suddenly they're interrupted by aggressive knocking at her door. And Addie is certain her shadow was coming to see his promise through. Archie insists on checking it out, but when he doesn't return, she goes after him and sees a single red rose on her doorstep, confirming what she already knew. Her shadow does not make idle threats.
Oh my gosh. This girl decides to go with the guy, even after the threat. Keep on going.
Not long after, the police are searching her property and taking her statement. There wasn't much she could say to help. There was a knock. 1 minute he was there and then he wasn't. The officer physically winces when Addie tells him Archie's name. It turns out Archie and his family were no stranger to law enforcement. The Talaveras were criminals, history of violence and rape, among other things. She couldn't help but feel responsible for his disappearance because she was warned loud and clear. But was this a good thing or a bad thing? Yeah. On one hand, Archie was a terrible person and maybe he deserved what he got and she was saved. No, spared by her stalker. On the other hand, would he still have met the same fate if their paths would have never crossed? Would he have hurt another woman? Addie was conflicted, but there was one thing she knew for sure. Her shadow was dangerous. Was he dangerous because she could end up in a ditch somewhere? Or was he dangerous because he affected her? Who was she kidding? Of course he's dangerous. And just like Archie disappeared, she could be next. That was very clear. When the next morning, a box appeared on her doorstep. And in it were Archie's hands.
Oh, hey, no! Absolutely not. Get the fuck away from me. No.
They were undoubtedly his hands because she recognized the distinctive tattoo. And there was a note. While I enjoy punishing you for every time you call the police, let's hold off this time. Wouldn't want to have to hurt them next, little mouse. And as much as Addie wanted to call the cops, 1, she had no faith in them to catch her stalker. And 2, she didn't want someone else to get hurt. Zaid couldn't help but find it amusing that Addie finally decided to set up an alarm system. After so many nights of him sneaking in, it was long overdue.
That girl literally took this long to put an alarm system.
Yeah.
I would have done it. First of all, living alone, I would have immediately. And he's drinking her whiskey? Get the fuck out. Okay. Leave at least $30 on there. Anyways, go back.
After so many nights of him sneaking in, it was long overdue. But the alarm system was no match for him, especially when it was one of his own designs.
No ching.
And could control it with the click of a button.
No chingas.
But what good was the alarm system when his little mouse had the balls to face off her stalker? It didn't take him very long to notice Addie's physical reaction to being scared. She liked it, even if she didn't want to admit it to herself. He can't help but think if he wasn't already so obsessed with her, that would have done it for him. As they're facing off for the first time, he almost made it out of her house undetected when he sensed that someone was watching him. He couldn't see her with how dark it was and all the shadows casted, but he knew Addie was there and she caught him. His little mouse was brave and didn't cower. Despite someone sneaking into her house, she never left. She stood her ground and didn't let someone run her out of her own house. Addie, however, recognized that she was being stupid and should leave, call the cops or get away. But who was this asshole to control her life? That was her home and she was not going anywhere. As much as Zaid wanted to spend every minute of the day watching Addie, he had an organization to run. Z were known as one of the, if not the largest vigilante organization. He does honest work by finding weaknesses in company security systems, and they're willing to pay him generously. He realized he was only one person and could save more people if he had others helping him. That was how Z grew over the years. He knew his methods were unconventional, but who said he was a good guy? Can his work be considered heroic if his methods were unethical? Do the means justify the end? In all honesty, Zaid didn't give a single fuck. Who was going to stop him? He had gone to great lengths to protect his identity and made sure that nothing could be traced back to him. No one knew the face behind Z, but if they did, rest assured, no one would ever forget it. As if Zaid's tall and muscular frame wasn't enough, he had a scar that runs down from one of his eyes, and his most prominent features are his eyes. He has one brown eye and one light blue eye, similar to a husky.
Oh.
Speaking of eyes, he was beyond outraged with the sight before him. There had been a leaked video on the dark web of a cult-like organization known as the Society committing ritualistic child sacrifice.
Oh my God.
And he was willing to do whatever it took to dismantle this organization one by one. He was going to infiltrate the organization as a predator. Only the Society members were his prey. Despite devoting his life to taking down human trafficking, Zaid still found time to visit his little mouse. She was getting braver, not only facing off her stalker, but now she was outright provoking him. He was standing outside of her house watching her again when she caught him, and thought that she'd scare him off by calling the authorities. She was cute. As if the police scared Zaid. They were no match for what he was capable of doing. So he texts her to warn her that her disobedience has consequences. She asks him, why? Why is he doing this? And his answer is simple. You haunt me. It's only fair that I return the sentiment.
Oh.
Addie had enough with his games, so she storms out, knife in hand, to confront her shadow. She knows that she's being stupid, but that thought can go fuck itself, and it was time to end this. Zaid had other plans though. She was even more beautiful up close, and as she comes face to face with him, she becomes overwhelmed with how intense his presence is. And why the fuck did he have to be so attractive?
Of course.
She shouldn't be attracted to a stalker. It just felt so wrong. It was wrong. She asks him if he was there to kill her. He slowly shakes his head and answers, why would I do that? I wouldn't kill you, little mouse. I want to keep you. She's entranced by the overwhelming presence of this man, but responds, what if I don't want you to? And he just smiles and says, you will. She is left speechless. She had so much she wanted to say, but the words die on her tongue. Little did she know, this is only the start of their cat and mouse game.
Oh, Dios mío.
Pause! Don't cut this, Edith. For real, pause. Pause. As I mentioned in the trigger warnings, this book contains content of dub non-con, and I will spare you the details. I will, however, speak to the nature of how the relationship evolves.
Okay.
Zaid continues to visit Addie nightly, watching, stalking his little mouse. He knows how fucked up his actions are to take something without consent, especially when it's the very thing he's fighting against daily. He is completely addicted. Nothing will justify his actions, but he just can't seem to regret it. The way her body responds so well to him speak louder than her words. He can see and feel her desire, her pleasure, even if she won't admit it to herself, but she will. He is a patient man. She can lie to herself all she wants, but deep down, she is at the very least intrigued. He tried to back off, but not very long before he could resist any longer. To his surprise, she even started texting him, replying to his messages.
No, es que está bien loca esta. Está bien loca.
And answering his phone calls. He knows he still scares her, but he loves it. And he knows that a part of her does too.
Yep, of course, 'cause she's crazy. And he is too.
Over the course of the following 3 months, Zaid continues to visit Addie, whether she knew about it or not. But she did know. The roses kept appearing, her whiskey almost gone, and even if she didn't want to admit it, the evidence was marked on her body and her panties. She hated herself. She felt embarrassed and ashamed, betrayed by her own body, fucking traitor. But why has he also marked himself in her mind? He has managed to consume her thoughts, consume her desire, consume her pleasure. Frustrated by this revelation, Addie continues to fight those thoughts, wanting to put them back under a rock at the bottom of the ocean if she could. Only she was drowning and not even realizing it. Zaid managed to infiltrate the society, fitting right in with these monsters, except he was a monster too. Just because his victims weren't the same as theirs, did that make him any less of a monster? He took the likings of Senator Mark Williams and was all but happy to take him under his wing and help him make all the right connections in the organization. Zaid hated these bastards and couldn't stand having to pretend to have similar tastes, but he was a man on a mission. Things took a turn when Mark noticed Addie and had his sights set. On a whim, Zaid claimed Addie in an attempt to divert Mark's attention, but only managed to rope her into his scheme. Addie reluctantly goes along with whatever Zaid was up to, but she demanded answers. Only she received a lot more than she expected to get. She's surprised when Zaid shares a vulnerable moment with her. Addie has discovered his Z identity, but did not know the extent of what he saw, what he witnessed, and how affected he was by the victims that he was saving. Only he didn't save all of them. It was difficult for her to want to accept that a psycho like Zaid could be doing something so selfless, so heroic, and so brave. He was saving lives and changing the world. He was doing so much good. But that didn't make him any less of a murderer. Her walls were cracking and she couldn't help it. But who was she kidding? The man was unashamedly bulldozing through her walls, and she had let the stupid door wide open for him, figuratively and quite literally. Yeah, his touch became addicting, and she was hooked. She wanted more, and that frightened her. She didn't know how much longer she was going to be able to put up a fight before she completely gave in. But if Zaid was sure of one thing, Addie was going to give in. She was going to beg for it. Dicho y hecho, Addie gave herself to Zaid.
Of course, this girl. Oh my God.
She was beginning to forget her life before him. He was consuming her. The way he made her feel was electric. And oddly enough, she was beginning to feel protected and safe with him, even if he still was a dangerous stalker. She knew it was going to take her some time to accept some things, but she was willing to try because one thing was true. She was completely fucked. In every sense of the word.
Literally.
Zaid was getting closer, and soon he'd get the man behind the society. Now more than ever did he want to, no need to take them down. He discovered that they had a list of targets, and his little mouse was worth a lot. This enraged him, and he was going to do whatever it took to protect Addie. Not from himself, but that was beside the point. He was going to burn the whole fucking place down and anyone who stood in his way. Except... there was one thing Zaid realized way too late.
What the fuck?
Why was it so easy for him to get this far into the society? Now he's in the ritual room trying to recover from an explosion with bullets flying everywhere. What? In the midst of the chaos ensuing, the ringleader emerges from the shadows with a knowing look that he fell right into their trap. And meeting the same fate, Addie was taken.
Oh no.
End of book.
Are you serious? It ends like that?
Yep.
How is that? Like, didn't you say that it was supposedly happy ending according to the author?
Yeah.
Well, what? She needs a definition of happy ending because that was not a happy ending. What in the world? How are you gonna leave people like that? Oh my God, I get mad when there's just such a huge cliffhanger.
And this is why some people will not read books that have a cliffhanger.
Dios mío. Wow, wow.
Yeah, guys, that was the story. That is it
crazy.
Was a lot. It was so much. Reading it, there was just so...
He's crazy. She's crazy. For liking his crazy ass. Yeah. The fact that this guy was like going in, leaving roses, drinking her whiskey. ¿Quién sabe qué mal estaba haciendo?
Yeah.
While she was sleeping? Mm-hmm. Girl. ¿Y esta también nomás deja la puerta abierta?
Yeah.
No, Dios mío.
So, initial thoughts. Without reading the book, like, what are your initial thoughts?
My initial thoughts without reading the book is like, fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. Like, my ass would have been out of that house. I will be run out of that house. There's no, especially like the fact that he made a threat and he stood by it, you know, and the hands were on her porch. No. No. That's how you know, like, you know, who you're messing with somebody that don't give a fuck. That's scary. That's fucking scary. This is unhinged. This is, yeah. Unhinged.
Yeah, girl. It was a lot. Like, reading it, I was like, oh my God, I really was clutching my pearls.
I was like, is this even legal to read?
Guys, the cliffhanger just had me like, what the fuck? That I had to read the second book, and I'm almost done with it, actually.
Oh, okay.
Not almost. I'm like 60% done. Yeah. But,
book review is going to be coming on that, by the way.
You think?
Pues queremos saber.
I don't know, guys. Let me know if you guys want the book review on the second one, because
queremos saber. I want to know. As somebody that didn't read it, I want to know what the fuck happened. You can't just fucking leave me like this. Like, what's gonna happen?
So actually, I wanted to give you guys a little taste of the book. I saved a page. Let me get the book. I saved a page because I was like, oh, I kind of like this. This is like one of my favorite lines in the book.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me read this to everybody. There's a couple things that were my favorite line. Well, not my favorite lines, but something that I don't know.
Give us your fave.
Okay.
Give us your fave.
Let me read directly from the book right now, okay? The roses. Why the roses? I smile. I was waiting for her to ask me about those. My mother, her favorite flowers were roses, and she always had them all over the house with the thorns clipped so I wouldn't hurt myself. One year I told her that I would be sad when she died because all the roses would die with her. So she gave me a plastic rose and said that as long as I have that rose, she would never truly be gone. I shrugged. I guess I wanted to see the roses all over your house too. Maybe because you feel like home.
Oh, he's fucking crazy, but oh.
And then I was just kind of like, oh, that was actually cute. Because I tell Val all the time, like, he feels like home to me, you know? And so, like, even though he's psycho, he still has feelings. And he wanted her to feel like home.
Yeah.
Or I guess she did feel like home. But let me read you another part where I was like, aw. She says, the world needs more people like you, Zaid. And he responds, maybe, but all I need is you.
Just, I mean, he's still crazy, but
I know.
He's my kind of crazy. I'm just kidding. Damn. Oh, I guess he got some kind of heart.
Yeah.
I mean, he likes helping people in the way that he's like battling the human trafficking.
Yeah.
But he's also like screwed up in the head and low key like major stalking and, you know, doing shit to her like
without her consent.
Yeah. That's literally what he's fighting. And
yeah, so he actually does kind of go into it, and he was like, there's no justifying it. Like, he recognizes that there's no justifying it, but, like, he can't even find it in himself to regret it because, like, he's just so addicted to her. And, he's just like, I know she feels the same way, but I'm like, bro, those are red flags all over. Yeah. Like, major red flags.
That's not even red flags. I don't know. That's a red nation. I don't know. I don't know what it's like. It's bigger than a red flag.
Yeah. And actually, let's jump right into like our review. I want to jump into a little segment that we're gonna call the good, the bad, and the unhinged. So for me, the good, I guess the best part about the book that I actually enjoyed, a part of the book, is that as I'm reading it, I can see the cognitive dissonance in Addie, where she, you know, like, is trying to not justify, but like she, like, you can tell that like she really does hate herself, and she feels so much shame that she physically enjoys what he does to her. Like, you can just, like, she, even at one point, she's like, why does my fucking body react this way? Like, why is my body betraying me? But also, like, in her head, she's like, I know this is wrong. Yeah. But, like, she's still enjoying it. And so, like, you can just, like, throughout the book, you, like, really see that, like, confliction, like, that conflict in her head where she's going back and forth. And even at the end, she doesn't, like, you know, like, she does kind of give in, but she's still like, Addie, you're fucking stupid. Like, she literally calls herself stupid so many times throughout the book, because she's kind of like, you're stupid. Like, this is such, like, this is dangerous. This is reckless. But she's like, God, that man makes me fucking come. Like, she literally has euphoric orgasms with this man. Damn. And even when, even the times when she didn't really want it, you know, he's still like, it was just, I think, you can just, I think for me, that was what I really enjoyed reading. It was just, I think, good writing on the author's part, because I feel like there's a lot of I've read tons of romance books, and I feel like it's a switch in a lot. And I guess some people, you know, it is a switch for them. Like, they just fall in love right away, and they have this, like, quick love story. And, you know, and, like, for her, it was not a quick love story. Like, she even almost up until, like, 4 chapters before the end, she was still conflicted. Like, you know, and, like, I know my summary, I definitely summarized a lot. I know I went into detail with some of the stuff, but, like, it was truly a quick summary compared to the book. You know what they say, that, like, the summary I gave you is like a fucking the tip of the iceberg, and you read the book, there's so much depth to it. And I feel like the author H.D. Carlton did very well with, like, writing the cognitive dissonance. And I'm not making any accusations or, like, assuming anything, but, like, I think the author recognizes that, like, sometimes, like, something that might feel good isn't necessarily, you know, good for you, you know? And sometimes that, like, it's crazy when, you know, you feel that shame that something that should be wrong feels so good, you know? And I don't know, but I think she did very well. So for me, that was the good. The bad is, for me, the bad were the heavy topics like child sacrifice and human trafficking, because she went into details.
Oh.
It was not off page.
Oh, it wasn't like nomás tocándolo, like touching a little bit on the subject. Oh, no, you got like a whole picture in your mind?
Yeah.
Like, oh, no. Oh.
He went into a room and there was a bunch of kids in there, and, you know, like, it was very detailed. The heavy topics, and you know, like, I get it, it's dark romance and stuff, and I've read some dark romance, but that was it was graphic, like, because for me, when I read, it's like a movie in my head.
Yeah.
And so it was very graphic, and I know there's people who are like, oh, Hunting Adeline, there's more dark romance, and I'm just like, holy shit, you know, like, I haven't read dark romance.
Do we need therapy or what?
Yeah, I think we need therapy, but like, I think for me, the bad was kind of like the heavy topics. I think even though I should have not skipped the trigger warning. I completely just was like, fuck the trigger warning. I honestly never read trigger warnings because I'm just like, let me just jump right into it. But I guess even though I was kind of like, you know, I heard this was like heavy, but I like reading it, I was like, she actually went into fucking detail with the description of these heavy topics. So that for me was kind of like the bad, you know? Yeah. But the unhinged, I don't even think I could still get over the fact with the dub non-con guys. I don't know. The dubious consent, I guess I'm a little okay with.
I was like, ¿qué estás diciendo? Dub non-con. That's what I heard. I was like, ¿qué? The dubious.
But I want to mention to all of our friends that we are going to be creating like little note cards for everybody, so you guys can see like what these like terms are, like bookish terms and stuff, because like not everybody knows what dub non-con is, or like, you know, TBR or like there's different terms that the book community uses.
It's gonna help you and it's gonna help me, because I feel like I'm still a fairly new reader and getting into the reader space. So definitely yo los necesito también, you know.
She's gonna have flashcards.
Yes.
So dub non-con is dubious non-consent, meaning dubious means that consent is not explicitly said, so it's kind of like a gray area. Non-con is straight non-consensual, and in the real world would be rape. So for me, that one was difficult because like, people are obsessed with this book. People love this fucking book, and I'm like, I was still having a hard time. Like, for me, it was kind of like, for someone so obsessed with you, you would think you'd respect your fucking boundaries. And when you say no, he backs off. You know,
as a man should.
And so, but you know, I guess it worked out for them.
But I guess, but that's a hard topic to like kind of like.
That's very hard, and so for all my readers out there, guys, like, definitely be warned if you do decide to read it. It was very graphic, the dub non-con scenes. And so yeah, definitely be warned. For me, that was very fucking unhinged. So.
Yeah, seems like it, girl. I don't know. To me, it's like, it feels almost wrong reading it. You get me?
Yeah, exactly.
Not that I read it, but like, I feel like I would feel that sort of way.
I constantly had to remind myself, like, this is fiction. Like, it's a book, you know? But it was just, it still, like, felt wrong.
But it's crazy because it's like, it's literally, like, all over book talk.
Yeah. And, like, so HD Carlton, I actually follow her on social media. And she's very outspoken on social media, and like there's a lot of things that, you know, she says and I agree with, especially when it comes to this political climate. So definitely, like, I like her for that. But she had said, I think one time she spoke out because people were saying things about how can you write, you know, non-con, because it's wrong, you know, like, especially as women where, like, you know, we've, you know, we're constant, not, I don't want to like generalize this, but like women, you know, like we've come a long way, you know, and it's kind of like, you don't want to just kind of gloss over non-con. And she kind of spoke out about that and was like, you know, like everybody experiences SA differently, you know, and like some people, like, this is their outlet, you know, like this is their outlet, and she took something that was so wrong and tried to like turn it and have control over it, you know.
Okay, yeah, I see.
And so she kind of like broke it down that way. So like, you know, like I don't want to like say that like what the fuck is wrong with her for writing this, you know. And it's like, I don't know her story like that. I don't know what happened to her, but I just know that when I, you know, followed her social media and I was kind of like, you know, seeing some of her stuff, she did say that like, you know, like everybody deals with SA differently, you know, like, you know, as a victim or non-victim, you know, like we all see it differently, because as someone who is a victim of SA, you know, or someone who's not a victim of SA, like, how would you ever know how you would respond to something if you were never, you know, in that situation yourself, you know, like everybody responds differently, you know, and that's what she was trying to say. And she wanted to turn it around and have some kind of power over the non-con type of thing.
Okay, yeah, I see that point. I could see that point of view.
Yeah, so I'm not knocking her, you know, but it was just very difficult. It was difficult because I'm like, oh, I don't know, girl.
Yeah, I know. As a reader, I would feel some sort of way. You know, like, oh, okay, well.
Yeah. You know, and some people even, you know, and I've actually read, like, I've seen online, like, people talking about this book, and even people who are victims of SA saying that they loved the book. You know, they loved the book, and to them it was empowering, actually, because it was kind of like, you know, the way that she was able to turn something around, or even like how, I don't know. I honestly don't know what their mind, like how, you know, they can justify it or whatever. But, you know, like to each their own. I think I could read it again. I don't know. I'd be careful with it because like it was just uncomfortable, you know. I definitely, one thing that I had a very hard, and that wasn't this book, okay, but there was another book that I've previously read, and was a relationship between a minor and a full-grown adult.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
Who knew she was a minor and still proceeded to do stuff.
You see,
that one was very fucking difficult for me, and I don't know how the fuck I read the whole thing. But
it's because you have, like, ¿cómo se dice? Your OCD kicked in to finish the book.
Yeah, probably. Most likely.
You have to fucking finish it.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, that's kind of like my review there. But like, overall, it was an interesting read. I will give them that. Like, there was plot, there was spice.
It seems like you know, like a little bit. It's really intriguing. It like really like drives you to like read the book just based on your summary. That I'm like, oh shit, now I want to know what happened. Am I gonna read the book? I don't know about that, guys, but I'm gonna wait until Angel gives me a summary.
So I kind of wanted to mention, like, one of the characters that I least liked was oh my god, it was Addie's mom. I fucking couldn't stand that bitch, bro. Even she called her, she even called her own mom a bitch. Oh yeah, like her mom was just that. I can see why. You can kind of see like the relationship that she has with her mom, and you know how difficult it is to kind of like love her because she's her mom, but like love her at a distance because her mom, like, you know, even at one point the mom like kind of insinuates that she's sleeping with the man just because he has money or something like that. And I'm like, why would you make that assumption about your own kid? Yeah, like that's crazy.
Yeah, she seems like a bitch.
So that was one of my least favorite characters. One of my favorite characters, I want to say it's her best friend, Daya, because she's like witty. Like, I honestly was like, damn, I wonder if she's gonna get her own book. Like, sometimes like it's interesting because, and that was one thing that when I was reading this book, there was like some interesting I love how the author developed these characters, because some of them had like very interesting personalities,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, I wonder if they're gonna have their own book. Like, I wanna read that.
It wasn't too much of a hyper focus on just the main characters. Like, she gave like a little bit of a spotlight to the
other characters.
Like,
yeah,
I like that.
And I liked how witty and like the fucking out of pocket comments that her friend would make and stuff like that. So I liked her friend. But what was I gonna say? Damn, there was something I was gonna say and I just like completely lost.
Se te fue el tren.
Yeah, se me fue el tren. But Sibby. Oh my god, because you read the prequel. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, girl, I still need you to give me a review on the prequel because she was interesting as hell in this book. Yeah. Like, she was something. Okay, guys, I didn't even mention Sibby in my summary. Yeah. Sibby's just the character that shows up. There's like a short part where she kind of shows up, and that girl made her mark. You know who she kind of reminds me of, Sibby? Like, Agnes from Wednesday.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like, I don't know why. That vibe. Yeah. So, and then her henchman. Did she mention her henchman?
Oh, yeah, girl. Oh, yeah. I read all about the henchman.
Oh, God. Okay. So, I did not talk about that. Oh, another thing I do want to mention is another thing that I liked that H.D. Carlton did in the book is there's a story within a story. Because you know how I briefly mentioned in the beginning of my summary that her grandmother had a journal.
And she found the journal diary
in the wall. Yeah. So basically throughout the whole book, at the end of every chapter, you get to read an entry of her great grandmother's journal. Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
And it kind of turns into a mystery because basically her great grandmother was killed and they never really solved the case. Like, it just kind of stayed open all these years. And so basically Addie goes on a mission to try and find out what happened to her great grandmother. And because in the journal, like, she kind of sees that like her grandma falls in love with her own stalker. So it kind of gave you like that foreshadowing of like what was going to happen to Addie. Yeah. Because ultimately she did fall for her stalker, but it kind of foreshadowed that. And I really like that. But like, she kind of reads through her great grandmother's journals, and it's like she falls for her stalker, and then she like at one point gets killed, but she kind of leaves like these like insidious like messages like he's after me and stuff like that, but you just don't know if she's talking about her husband because she was fully married. The great grandmother was fully married. She was having a full-on affair with her stalker, so we don't know if it's her husband, the stalker, or somebody else. And we actually end up finding out what happens. Like, by the end of this book or whatever, you do find out what happens to the grandmother, the great grandmother, and stuff like that. So that was one thing that I did like, is just that there was like a story within a story. You know, like honestly, this book just had a lot going on all at once.
It looks like it
all at once.
600 something pages.
Yeah. But I think she executed the book well. My spice rating for this is 4 chili peppers. Because
out of 5 chili peppers?
Yes. 4 chili peppers out of 5 because there was still some plot in there. And I feel like 5 chili peppers is like all spice, no plot.
Just fucking.
Yeah, basically. Like, you're basically reading porn.
Yeah.
So for me, this was a 4 chili peppers rating.
Still high.
Yeah. For my overall rating.
Oh, drum roll.
My overall rating, I want to say, I was very conflicted, okay?
What is it?
It's either a 3.5.
Okay.
Because I was stuck between a 3 and a 4.
What is gearing you? Why are you kind of like don't know between a 3 and a 4? Like, why? What makes you give it a 3? What makes you give it a 4?
Because it exceeded my expectations. Like, it did exceed my expectations because I was like, oh, is it just one of those like overhyped books, you know, type of thing? And I put off reading this book for so long. I had told you, I was like, girl, I see that book everywhere, and I just put off reading it. So a part of me was like, oh, is it just gonna be overhyped, whatever, right? But so it did exceed my expectations. Like, there was a lot of things I liked about it, but I also could not get over the non-con. I feel like dub-con is still blurring the line, but straight non-con was difficult. And then it was a little graphic. I think I could read graphic because I've watched movies and stuff like that, you know, but it was just very like heavy on some of those topics, you know, and graphic. So, but for me, the reason why I say 3.5, maybe a 4, is because like I said, it's just controversial. Like,
so ultimately, what is it? 3.5?
3.5 or 4. I can't decide.
You gotta choose one, girl.
I can't decide.
3.5 or 4?
We're just gonna leave with 3.5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I can't commit to a full-on 4. Okay, but I did want to give you guys the spicy chapters because I know some people love to know what the spicy chapters are, and that is 8, 16, 18, 21, 23, 25, 30, 33, 34, 38, and 40. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 spicy chapters. Interesting, yeah. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyways, let's jump into hot takes. Did you find the hot takes?
Yeah.
All right.
So, I feel like your review, based on like what you gave it, because I'm going just based right now on Goodreads, guys. Your review is very close to what the average is for the community reviews in Goodreads.
Okay.
It's actually a 3.95 stars.
I'm actually fucking average, guys.
So yeah, it's a pretty.
That's pretty like baseline.
Whatever, yeah,
it's
baseline.
Okay.
Some of the. So I'll read a little bit of different reviews of people that gave it, people who loved it and people who hated it.
Okay.
Okay. So we're gonna let's start with the bad first, so we can end in the good note. Okay. Somebody said, "Well, that was absolutely terrible. This book was on my radar because of my Goodreads friends, who have read Her Soul to Take and Her Soul for Revenge. I think you've read those, right?
No.
Or they're on your TBR?
They're my TBR.
Okay. Seemed to love this one too. They were both dark, stalker-ish romances with kinky smut, but this is shit. This book is shit though. Sorry." So that was.
But she didn't elaborate on why it was shit.
Oh yeah, she goes into every. So I'll read one of them. I like one of the quotes.
Okay.
Okay. Because in Goodreads you could like quote the book and then comment on it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay. Let's see. Let's do this one. I need the Tin Man to oil the hinges on my door just as much as I need the lion's bravery. I'm shaking like a leaf. That's from the book. Do you remember that?
No.
Really? Wizard of Oz reference? What even is this? It doesn't take a genius to understand that the writing like this is not adequate for a book that is meant to have dark tone, and it ruins the atmosphere and the necessary formality that is vital to the reader taking this book seriously. So
that's another thing. I'm gonna comment on that.
Yeah.
That's another thing that I did like. Contrary to what that reviewer is saying, I liked that the characters had their own personality, and she was very sarcastic. Like Addie was very sarcastic. She was very witty. She was very like. There's people who make light of when there's like dark shit going on in your life. When there's like, everybody deals with trauma differently. Everybody deals with like serious tone situations differently, and some people make a joke out of it, or some people make light of it, and that was one thing I did like about Addie, because I know I have a dark sense of humor sometimes, and like there could be a serious tone and like I'll fucking crack a joke because I'm awkward and weird, and I'll be like that's how I kind of that's how I cope with it, and I feel like that's how Addie copes with it too. So I think she missed the mark on that one.
Okay,
sorry
1 star. Just another one. It says if this man was ugly and 5 feet tall, I'm pretty sure everyone would hate him and his actions. Pretty privilege is real. That's what another comment said.
I can see that, but like, who's to say? Like, for example, 50 Shades of Grey. If Christian Grey were ugly and poor, people would be like, what the fuck? Get the fuck out of here.
That's true.
But you know what? I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes someone can be not that attractive, but if like sometimes like I don't know, you just give them a chance.
Benefit of the doubt.
Not the benefit of a doubt, but like, have you ever been attracted to someone's personality?
A lot. That took me nowhere.
You said that took me nowhere.
Anyways.
Okay, whatever. I'll give him that one.
Here's a 5-star, and this one's short and sweet. Reading this book is not enough. I need to fuck Zaid.
Okay. I don't know about that one.
What are your thoughts on that, Angel?
I'm okay. I mean, I can see why she would want to because of some of the graphic scenes. But yeah, I don't know. I'm happy in my marriage.
Another 5-star. I'm just gonna read the first part because a lot of these reviews on Goodreads, I feel like they literally put their effort in it and do a whole book review on them.
Like,
so
they're not on Amazon.
Yeah, they're not on Amazon. Like, it's in depth.
Okay.
This one said, I've been wanting to read H.D. Carlton for a while, and Haunting Adeline ended up being so good. Just a warning, though, this book and the sequel is dark, like dubious consent, stalking, and violence. So if that's your jam, read this book. I loved Zaid, our stalker psycho hero.
I mean, I will give him that. Zaid, okay, what he was doing was not okay, but also like his like devotion to wanting to save women and children, and you get to see a lot of it more in the second book. So I'll give you guys kind of like a little what is it? Sneak peek. He actually has built communities where once he saves like some of the women and children from human trafficking, if they don't have anywhere to go because maybe they were on the street, like they have a rough situation, they don't have anyone to go back to, he's built communities of like, it's like villages, you know, and it's like they live in like these dorms and they have like a community of all the people who have survived these like atrocious fucking circumstances, and they have like farming and an education and like caretakers and therapists, and he has like psychologists who are on the grounds of these villages to basically like help them through these like traumatic, you know, like maybe they have PTSD or whatever, you know, who fucking wouldn't? And so you get to see that more in part 2 in the second book, where you actually get to like meet some of the people who are like survivors and stuff. And that to me is insane. Like, that's completely selfless. Like, and he has no connection to like nobody in his family was ever in human trafficking or like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like there was no connection. Like, he just like, because he was like a hacker or whatever the fuck, he was on the dark web when he was like, I think he was a teenager, and he was on the dark web, and one day he came across a video of like human trafficking or like someone being sold or something like that, and it was just like, for him it was a light switch, and he was just like, what the fuck, like, and he just wanted to like devote his life to saving these people. And so I will give him that, you know.
And we'll end on this review. Okay, nice, short and sweet. 2 perverts play kinky hide and seek while not understanding how.
That's actually funny.
That one is a very like little review or like summary thing. Like putting the summary in one sentence.
I freaking like that though, because they are kind of they're both kinky. Yeah, they have their thing.
So yeah, overall 3.95 on Goodreads.
Okay, so I was close. 3.5, 4. See, I couldn't. I'm telling you, I couldn't decide. I was like, I'm between a 3.5 and a 4.
But it seems like, you know, people either love it or hate it. It seems like most of the reviews were either like 5 stars or like 1 or 2 stars. Yeah.
So I think just to end this, guys, I wanted to give you guys my final thoughts. Was it worth the hype? It depends. I'm still debating. Because there's, like I said, heavy. You know what? It kind of is, you know, worth the hype. Like, if you have the stomach for it, is what I'll say. Now, would I recommend it? Maybe. Like, if you're somebody who can stomach like heavy topics like that, and you just were like, I want something to fuck me up, then if you literally tell me like, Angel, recommend something, and I wanted to like fuck me up,
I wanted to send me to a therapist,
I will recommend it.
Okay, yeah.
But if someone's just like, but if someone's like, I just want like dark romance, like I want like a toxic man, you know, because I feel like book community really fetishizes toxic men. Yeah. And I would not recommend it, because that was unhinged. Yeah. That was very unhinged. But as someone who just listened to my summary and kind of gave my review, would you read this, Edith?
Personally, it seems like a great story, great plot. I like the development of the characters, even just in your summary. I personally would not read this. Okay. And the reason why is for the triggers.
Okay.
I just don't think I have the stomach to read through that. I'm cool with dark romance, but I think that one's just a little too unhinged for my liking.
Okay.
And also it's 600 fucking pages long, guys. That's why I got a best friend that reads it. So yeah, I just like, that's my thing. I think it's mostly the trigger warnings. I think it's a good story. Like it seems like it's a good story. I don't know if I could stomach it.
Got it. And it's not, honestly, it's not for the faint-hearted or anything, like the ones who love the meet cute and all that. It's definitely not that. And so that's why I warn anybody who does want to read it. And just so you guys know, the second book, okay, once she gets taken, it's very graphic on what happens to her. Very graphic on what happens to her.
My stomach. Sorry, guys.
Were you hungry, girl?
Yeah, I guess I am.
It's very graphic what happens to her, and she's like descriptive on what happens to her, and it kind of was like, oof, that one hit, a little bit. And it takes like fucking almost 30 chapters before she's meets Zaid again, guys. And I was like, is this a fucking romance novel or a crime book? Because I believe it was like 44% through. I was 44% into the book. I read it on my Kindle app, and it tells you like how far you're into the book. And I believe it was like 44% until Zaid and
they meet again.
And her meet again.
Damn.
And Addie, I was like, what in the actual fuck? It was crazy.
Yeah.
So anyways, just a forewarning on that, guys. But I think that's enough for toxic men today, guys. I need therapy now.
Definitely. Definitely. I need like 2 sessions right now. And I didn't even read it.
So we will leave you with that. We will read more unhinged books. The next book we will be reading. What is the next book we'll be reading? I forgot the title, but
we'll let you know.
We'll let you guys know. More unhinged books, and also we do have a submission form. So if you guys want to recommend a book, or you want me to read something that you haven't read and you just want me to read it so you don't have to, submit it. It's going to be on the link down below if you're on YouTube. If not, if you go to the link on our bio on Instagram, you can also submit it there. Let us know what you guys want us to review and read.
Yes.
I look forward to seeing what you guys come up with. I like to be surprised.
Yeah. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, especially right now that we're starting. It means a lot.
Yeah.
If you're listening to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, make sure to leave a 5-star review, guys. It means the world.
Yeah, and don't forget to send us a red rose.
Close your windows, shut your doors, guys. After this summary, oh my God.
And if you don't, I won't judge you.
So I think with that, we'll go ahead and end it.
Yeah, we'll wrap this up. But until next time, guys, stay safe and choose your men wisely.
Yep. That part.
All right, hold on. Before we check out, I did want to know. I did want to know what your guys' thoughts were. Oh my God, why didn't I? I was so
nervous.
I know we're a little nervous, but let us know what you guys think. Let us know your thoughts. Would you read it if you haven't? If you have read it, let us know what you think about it. I really want to know. So comment down below. Comment. Let us know. Send us a message. Whatever. Yeah. I want to hear from you guys, but I also want to know. How do you want to be addressed? Because I am so used to saying amigos, amigas, besties, or whatever. Like on our other podcast, we say our friends. And I was telling I'm like, how should we address them? Like, should we still say besties?
Say
friends?
Something like that. I don't know, something
cute,
a little bit different, cute, but not cringy. So give us ideas, guys.
Yeah, give us ideas, because I'm like, maybe like, because our little logo, like birdies, bees, because like bitches.
Yeah.
That fuck money good, or fuck bitches get money.
Fuck bitches get money.
So our birdies and our bees, our babes, our readers, our book lovers, our lovers, our
something. Algo lo que les nazca. Also, because this is our first episode, we're always seeking to improve. So if there's something you guys really liked about, like how the layout is, or what we talked about, or if you guys want us to touch on other stuff in regards to the book, or let us know. We're open to feedback. Because it's not like it's solid. you know, like it's gonna stay like this forever.
No, we're definitely open to like constructive criticism, and you know, we're always evolving, and we're very flexible with a lot of this. Like, this is brand new to us. This is a completely different style and layout and structure compared to our other podcast. And so it's interesting. Like, I was telling Edith, like, is it better if we both read the book, which I know will be difficult for my bestie over here. I'm
not that fast of a reader. I love to read, and that's another thing. Like, you know, I love to read, but I think like Angel loves to read. You get me? Like, she's on another level, and I'm like, oh, I love to read. So I think it is gonna be a little bit more difficult. Not saying it's impossible, obviously, but I think I need some time to get to that point. You know.
So let us know if you guys. She did more of a reaction to me reading the book, and I know some people, you know, like, that's cool because you can ask the questions that. Excuse me, sorry, I hella just burped. You can ask the questions that, like, maybe our friends who haven't read it can ask or want to ask or something, you know, or maybe you want both of us to read it so you guys can get both of our points of views. Maybe we can, like, switch off. Maybe, like, one time we can just do, like, straight, like, review reaction or, like, the next week, or because this is going to be every 2 weeks. So maybe the next time we can do, like, we can switch off and it'll be like both of us read it and we give you both of our points of views.
Yeah, but let us know what you guys want to hear. I think it's the next couple of episodes. It's mostly going to be, obviously, Angel has read the books and me reacting to them. But let us know because we're open to anything. Yeah, we're open to it.
So we're gonna just wrap it up right there. Let us know you guys' thoughts on how we did because I'm so fucking nervous, guys.
I think you did amazing. I'm just saying. Okay.
All right, guys. Ahí los vamos a dejar. Oh my God, yeah. I was already doing our outro for our other podcast, so we're gonna leave it right there, guys. Any last farewells?
That's it. Well, I guess we'll see you next time, Lauren.
I did want to say we love big books. I'm just kidding.
But we have bigger opinions.
There you go. We're trying different things out, guys. All right. Ahí los vamos a dejar. Bye, guys.
Bye.